Welcome back to another board game tier list, everybody. Today we're doing Pictures. It's a very popular game that I've had a lot of fun playing with both my family and my friends, and I really like this game. So there is, at the beginning of the game, there's a 4x4 grid of pictures. Everybody gets a little token that lets them know which of the pictures they're trying to uh, represent, so that all the other players can guess it. And so you all do that simultaneously. You make whatever picture you're trying to do with some sort of materials, and then you go around and guess what everybody else's is. You get points for how many people get yours correctly and how many times you get other people's correctly. So it's a very simple game, but it's really cool, and it's hard, but it's really interesting. So we're going to be doing a tier list on the different materials you can use. Because essentially there's 5 different materials, and this is the first one. So this is sticks and stones. So if I was doing this one right here, and I had sticks and stones, I would need to use some of these materials to represent this lock right here. So you could do it however you want to. You could make this silver part be, or you could just have these be a ton of the different locks, and then these be the little strands right here, or the pole, whatever they're attached to. You do it any way you want to. So certain ones of these are easier and certain ones are harder. I would actually say that the sticks and stones are some of the harder ones to be able to use. There's only so much you can do here. And the other thing that's very difficult about it is sometimes the colors of these are helpful, and sometimes they're very detrimental. Like you could put this in your picture, and just because the shape is perfect, but then actually the color hurts you because it looks very similar to a circle in a different picture. So then everybody thinks you're talking about a different picture. So this one's tough. I think I'm going to put these in C. All right, and then next we will do the other wooden pieces. So these are just the straight up blocks. And man, these are actually really, really good. You can communicate so much with just shapes, which is hilarious to me. Like, yeah, sure, there's certain times where you just get like a beach and you don't exactly know what to do. But even if you had a beach and then if there was like a sun in the background, you just use this, and then you use these just as like the shoreline. Maybe there's a little bit, like there's a mountain in the background. You just do something like that. You can communicate so much. There's just sometimes it's not perfect, but again, even if we were doing the lock right there, you could go with this, or maybe even just this, and then that would look like the lock, especially if you tilted it a little bit, if you remember what the picture looked like. You don't have to use everything again. So these are all going to go in S. So obviously you would use all of these at the same time. But you don't have to use every single one. You get all of them at the same time though. All right, let's do this one next. So these are the pictures in pictures, I guess. So this one, there's just a ton of different cards that you get to use. I can't remember exactly what the number is. It's something like 3 to 5 to communicate, or up to 5 to communicate or represent the picture you're trying to go with. So obviously if it was lock, you would literally just go with this and you'd be super lucky. But you don't get to pick. You're stuck with whatever you get. So let's just say you got a butterfly. I mean, I guess you could do this. If you got a bird, you could do this. But these are tough. One of my favorite things in games is cheating. So one of the things that I like to do is I assume you're not allowed to do this, but I will cover up certain parts of images. So like if it's just about the flies here, I will just cover these up so that they just know it's about the flies, theoretically. Or if it's somebody that looks like they have a broken heart, maybe we'll do something like that so they can tell it's a heart but it's cut in half, or something like that. Or if it's literally about the hand, I just do this, which I'm sure you're not supposed to do, but you can just do some creative things with these. But honestly, I think that they're the toughest to use. There's sometimes where you just get a picture and you have no idea how to represent it. So these are going to be F in my opinion. If I need to break the rules just to make them somewhat usable, they're pretty bad. All right, let's do this one. All right, so this is really, really simple. So this one you would just put 9 cubes in it, and the colors make it just so easy. It's crazy. Yeah, so you have all these to choose from. The one problem could be that like you might need more green than you actually have. I think you only have 3 of every single color. So sometimes you have to improvise with that if there's only like 2 colors on your picture theoretically. But yeah, this one is just really good. I also, these are just games to have fun or whatever. This isn't super competitive. So the other thing that I'll do is I will like layer them if required, because if something's in the background, something's in the foreground, I think that's a fun way to play. So these are gonna be S as well, just very easy to use them well. All right, and then last but not least, we have shoelaces. And when I started playing this game, this was like one of the hilarious parts to me that made me think that this game was awesome. And so you just have to use these shoelaces to communicate what you're trying to. But it's really interesting to me, whereas like these are just so rigid. There's no bending you can do. You're just given the shapes that you have. You can't even stand these up really. So it's not like you can try to make it 3-dimensional. Whereas like you can do a lot more with these. These have a ton of colors and people understand colors very easily. So this is super easy. Nobody understands these for the most part, and these can also just lead you completely in the wrong direction. This is so variable. Like even if I was just doing the lock, all I would have to do is make a lock, which might not be perfectly easy or whatever, but if I spent a minute or 2 right here, I could easily make a lock out of this and then just maybe not even use this one. And then that would be all the information I would need. And if I had the 2 butterflies, that'd be super easy. And the other thing is you can just do things that are like so exact in this. Like if I was doing a bunch of flowers or something, and it's just like a field of flowers, I could use this one and just make it the like exact turns of those flowers. It's super, super cool. It can just be so exact. So because of that, this one's going to go in S as well. So this is a super cool game. If you haven't tried it out, you definitely should. One other thing I think is cool about this game is that these are like unique materials. So I think my copy has these specific stones, but other people's copies will have different stones, which I find that pretty cool. So thanks for watching, everybody.